me alone in my personal life, leaves me alone in my business, just stays the heck out of my affairs. In fact, I believe in it so strongly that I stood for 10 and a half hours on the Senate floor for your and my right to be left alone. Do you think the colonists would have said, well, that Tea Party thing, that's kind of risky, and we don't have the votes, and my goodness, we just can't stand up because the government might shut down, and we might as well not try, and besides, the British soldiers are saying they're just collecting our papers, they're not looking at them. Think about it. People said, well, they're not violating your rights because they're not reading and looking at your phone records. It's the act of collection that is the invasion of your privacy. So I stood for 10 and a half hours to say, you know what? The people need to stand up and make sure that government knows we don't want you in our records. Right now we have a government, though, that is literally run amok. People ask me, they say, what is the worst problem? What's the worst thing President Obama's done? And I say, well, how long do you have? But it really isn't this particular bill. It's not Obamacare or Dodd-Frank or even some of the stuff they've done with the NSA. If you want to talk about it in overall terms, what's the worst thing the president's doing to the country? It's the collapse of the separation of powers. We had checks and balances. It was this marvelous system that our founders put in place. Madison put it this way. Madison said that we would pit ambition against ambition. The ambition of Congress to hang on or gain more power would be pitted against the power of the presidency, the ambition of the president to gain more power. But you know what you have now? You have a minuscule, a tiny, tiny, impotent, and inconsequential Congress. And I'm embarrassed that I'm even part of it. What were you promised? They said elect Republicans. Elect Republicans and we'll stop this nonsense. So we did. We elected Republicans to the House and to the Senate. What'd you get for it? Nothing. We have the power of the purse. People are now saying, and I think they're confused on this, we need to end the 60-vote majority in the Senate. We need to end it because we can't stop anything. No, we need to use it to our advantage. Do you know if we would just stand up and say, let's let all spending expire. What does that mean? Just let it all expire. A second later. But once all spending expires, you know what happens? The people who want to spend money have to affirmatively get the votes. A majority in the House and typically 60 votes in the Senate. So what are some of the things we might get rid of? Where to start? $800,000 we spent the last couple of years on developing a televised cricket league in Afghanistan. They don't even have televisions in Afghanistan. 1 in 10,000 people have a television, and yet they took $800,000 of your money to broadcast a televised cricket league for Afghanistan. Do you know that we have spent more in Afghanistan than the entire Marshall Plan after World War II? We had an accidental bombing of a hospital the other day, and it makes me sick. Some people want to blame the soldiers. I know, but I have relatives who are soldiers. I don't want to blame the soldiers, but I sure as hell want to blame the policymakers. Why the hell are we bombing anybody in Afghanistan? Why the hell are we there? We're never going to make government smaller until we wake up and send a message to Republicans and Democrats that enough's enough. For nonviolent crime, we have to choose a different way. We've got to figure out a different way than putting people in jail. It's not the way we should treat drug addiction or drug problems with jail. If we want to win again, we have to be a bigger, broader party. We need to be a party with earrings and without earrings, with tattoos and without tattoos, with ponytails and without ponytails. We've got to look like the the rest of America. And one of the ways we can look like the rest of America is defending justice for everyone. White,
Hi, I'm New Hampshire State Representative Victoria Sullivan, and I stand with Rand because our party has been looking for a conservative leader for many years. We finally have a guy. We have a liberty-loving conservative who will stand up for us and against the Washington machine. That is why I stand with Rand Paul.
My name is Taylor Brennevold, and I stand with Rand because he's the only candidate who supports individual liberty under a limited government. He's the only candidate who fights for and defends the principles this country was founded on.
I stand with Rand because I believe that the United States Constitution is the most important thing that holds in America.
I stand with Rand because government spending is out of control, and my generation's future is at stake.
I stand with Rand because we need a president who defends the entire bill.